What's up, guys? Welcome back. I don't know if you're like myself, but Deadpool is by far like the top of my list as far as Marvel heroes go. Absolutely love the character and the movies, and personally, I don't think I've been more excited for a movie to come out since maybe like Endgame than Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm going back and watching all the movies, the X-Men. Can't freaking wait. But of course, in Marvel Snap, we got data mines, and in July, they're theming the entire season after the freaking movie. So today, we're going to go through all the cards that have been leaked. I'll give my initial impressions, star ratings, and general synergy thoughts, things like that. And we're going to start with the season pass card in Gwenpool. Now, Gwenpool is a little crazy, so buckle up. Now, she's a 4-cost, 4-power card with the on-reveal ability of picking a random card in your hand 4 times, which I would assume is separate times, and you're going to give it +2 power each time. So in traditional season pass fashion, this seems absolutely busted if my math doesn't mistake me. She's like a 412, obviously spread amongst a bunch of cards. She seems freaking great. A lot of synergy here. Reminds me of like maybe Hope Summers, little Miss Marvel action. And I'm already just giving this like a must-get card. Maybe they change it. It's a season pass card after all. But if you think about the synergy here, it just seems bonkers. First of all, just like Absorbing Man doing this twice, turn 6 and 7 if you have Limbo, seems crazy. But if you look into the cards, right, how about like Sebastian Shaw, who's just going to go to like 1 to a billion power. Deadpool, clearly, he's going to be doubling up on that power, and pretty cool synergy there. Black Panther finally gets himself some love, and we can maybe play that even on curve if he's still in the deck. Of course, she's going to be random who she picks, but, you know, you get a better idea, kind of like Blob, if you look at something like a deck tracker, and you can tell exactly what is left. I also like the idea of magic to help that synergy a little bit better. Things like Brood, where you can play him down and have all that power and instantly win a lane. Nimrod to destroy and go to locations, and he's powered up and also 5 cost. Iron Man, like anything is probably going to be pretty damn good with her, which is why she reminds me of like the catch-all good season pass cards. Really cool character too. I'll save it for when I break her down on my video when she comes out. Yeah, I don't know. Like Hope Summers, it was a season pass card. It was data mined to be busted, and then they fixed that. So maybe they adjust this in some form or fashion. But she definitely seems really good for the increase in power kind of decks, which have never been that great in Snap. So definitely looking forward to Gwenpool. Now, next up on the list, we have Hydra Bob, who is a 2-cost, 5-power card, similar to cards like Silk and Lizard, with the ability of after each turn, you're going to move to another location if you're losing the location that Hydra Bob is currently on. So, guys, if I could have any fit in the Marvel universe, it might be Hydra Bob. This guy looks like an absolute Chad. It reminds me of Silk in some ways, so obviously cards that synergize well in that package. Craven is going to work. Storm, you can shut down a location, and then you play Bob into a location you know you're losing, and then he would move over to the flooded location. Clearly, like Sarah is going to be good with him, just having it as a 2-cost card with a lot of benefit. Even like he kind of reminds me of like Captain Marvel in some ways, where like you know you can move him if you do certain things right, or if your opponent is going to play somewhere. And so I think he's a really good card personally. Like he's going to just synergize with cards we love. Cerebro 5 gets another addition. He's probably like the second to worst. I don't know. He seems really good. We're going to have to review the rest of them. But Hydra Bob is one that I don't see everybody getting, but those that have them are going to love them. Now, the next card we have is Copycat, and get a load of this. 3-cost, 5 power. When you draw this, steal the text from the bottom card of your opponent's deck. Absolutely busted. There's no way this card is going to ship as this. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. This is like Iron Lad, but at 3 cost, 1 less power. Okay, and then can we just, it says steal, right? So if that means steal, typically like Cable's stealing a card, they don't have that card anymore. So you're yanking that ability of a card they probably wouldn't get. You're getting intel because you know what they have in the deck, you know, a little bit better, more intel on the deck. And on top of that, she's got 5 power to boot. So, you know, let's say you take Dr. Doom's text, all of a sudden she's going to be a Dr. Doom. Literally 5, 5, and 5. Or maybe Devil Dinosaur. This seems like, to me, the Iron Lad of last year. And the one that I'm going to recommend a lot of people to probably get in the season. I like her a ton. She has synergy with what, pretty much anything. Now, I guess she's like balanced because, you know, you steal the card. So if you're Absorbing Man after her, you can't do that twice because the card doesn't have a text. Either way, I would expect this to go down to like a 3-4. And if that's the case, or if it stays at 3-5, again, probably my favorite of the month. They're damn near close. Okay, all right, next card we have is Ajax. And this is probably the worst card of the month. Not a bad card by any stretch of the imagination. Just kind of, he's good. He offers something a little bit different. Now, Ajax is a 4-cost, 4-power card. The ongoing effect of +1 power for each card in play afflicted with negative power. Again, certainly not bad, but Affliction can be a little messy at times. We've got a lot of these Affliction cards, Red Guardian, for instance. But if you look at the text, it makes me think that you could play him with, like, Typhoid Mary and afflict your own cards. Obviously, high Evo decks are going to love this. Onslaught, you can play on top of them. Hazmat, you could just burst the entire field, and maybe they're playing, like, a Flood deck, and then this guy's power is through the roof. Spider-Woman, like, you guys know Affliction cards by now. I think Ajax is going to be cool. He probably will be passed up the most because there's a lot of other great cards out there, especially the next one. But cool ability. Did not think of anything like this would come out. You know, they seem to really like Affliction over there on the deck create or the card creating scene. But Ajax, he seems like a fun one. And last but not least, we have Cassandra Nova. And buckle up because this is a lot here. Now, it is a 3-cost, 1-power card with the ability on reveal, Drain. More on that in a second. 1 power from each card in your opponent's deck. All right, guys, we're going to talk about this. Drain is a new word, right? We got a lot of new words in Marvel Snap. We had Recruit and now Drain. And if it does what I think it's going to do, A, I think this is a cool effect to have into more cards, but B, Cassandra Nova is going to be a 3/7 most of the time. This is like an Okoye against your opponent's deck, or like a Scorpion, but not for the hand, for the deck. But Drain to me says if they have an Iron Lad, it's going to zap that 6 power, go to 5, and put it to Cassandra and bump her up to 2, but it's going to do that for every card in the deck. I mean, there's a card coming out that puts like a bunch of random cards in your deck that big guy we reviewed, I forgot his name, but that's like 18 power that she's going to have. This seems overwhelmingly cracked in my opinion, right? Because, I don't know, like Bar Sinister, you're just going to straight up ruin the game for these people. And it's like the ultimate toxic card, but she's also just gaining this energy as well. But on top of that, like Absorbing Man, just having this effect and playing right after her is just detrimental as well. Ravoda Rinslayer, this seems like the Annihilus of Toxic, if you will. And it's like a Scorpion, her, Grandmaster, Absorbing Man. It just seems like a lot. And Cassandra Nova might take the ticket as one of the best cards in the month as well. A lot of unique abilities this month, and I think they nailed it because the movie's going to probably be one of the best movies Marvel has put out, in my opinion, since really we ended like the glory days of Marvel, if you will. So let me know down below. Like, for me, it's probably Copycat and then Cassandra. Gwenpool is going to be crazy as well. What do you guys think? What synergies did I miss? What card are you most excited for? It's going to be a good time, though, and hopefully we got a new game mode to boot with this. We're ready for new game modes, man. I'm telling you, I'm ready to play Marvel Snap in different ways. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the Data Mine video, and until that next one, happy snapping.